¿Qué es la que hay? Welcome to Tony West DIY. My name is West. Today I just wanted to give you the comparison between the Cosmo engine and the RX-7 FD, or if we talk about engine names or codes, it will be the 13RE, comparing it with the 13REW. I will also like to explain why I haven't posted or why I haven't continued the RX-8 AC series. The last couple of videos that I posted about the RX-7, I wanted to add AC because we moved to Texas and the heat here is really bad during the summer. And I got carried away. I pulled the engine to the side and sand down the engine bay, paint it, and start finding all the stuff that I was like, well, if I'm here, let's just change it. And it turned out a pretty big project. I've been posting a couple stuff on Instagram and Facebook, but I figured that I have subscribers or followers here in the channel that probably are not on my social media accounts. So that's why I want to give you an update. I've been doing live on Facebook showing what happened with the engine, but I haven't posted anything on the YouTube channel. Just to give you a back brief real quick. First thing I found on the engine was the water pump, and I decided to get a Remedy water pump. After I painted the engine and I was going to close it, I was going to put the oil pan back on, I realized that the middle iron was cracked. And that started a couple of events after that. Just to be clear, the RX-7 was running fine. It was turning right up. I checked compression, I think a couple months ago, or gonna be almost a year. And there was, I think, one phase at 86 PSI, the others were over 90. However, once I decided to open that engine, then I started finding a lot of stuff. First thing was a spun bearing. You see that key right there, that notch. That notch is supposed to go on that hole. The purpose of that notch is to keep the bearing in place. And I don't know if you can tell, but that rotor there is damaged. So the bearing rotated, and then I don't know if you can see the bearing, how it looks, but you can see a lot of bronze on that bearing, and that's not bueno. In addition of it damaged a little bit the eccentric shaft. If I pass the nail, it get caught on there, and here as well. I found the oil pump was all scratched up, and one of the housings had a step where you pass the nail, get caught up too, but you can see it, you can feel like bouncy areas. So I'll be honest with you, I got a little bit frustrated, decided to take a break for a little bit. Found the Celine S281 2006. This one is number 1312 and it's 1 out of 32. I'm gonna post more videos about it, but I wanted to give an explanation first. Anyway, wanted to find a new engine. There's a backlog. Apparently, I even contact people that I met when I was in Germany to see if I can get an engine over there. Australia, UK, you name it. There's a backlog. There's a backlog. There's no engine from Mazda. A lot of people are waiting. People told me that there's a waiting list for a year, and I reached Ray. Most of the OEM parts that I purchased to either rebuild this engine or to do the AC project were from Ray Crowd. He's been in this community for a long time. I reached him. He told me that he can find me an engine in October. However, I was in Facebook and then I found a 13B RE engine, brand new engine apparently, and I just opened it up and yeah, wanted to show you the comparison between the different irons from the 13B REW versus the 13B RE. Since I made live in Facebook, like I mentioned before, and a lot of people were asking me the different common questions, so I just want to make a video out of it. So here I have the 13 REW. So this is gonna be on your left is gonna be my engine, the one that was in the RX-7, which is the REW, and then you're gonna see the 13B RE, and then we're gonna do the same. So just for we keep things organized. Let's start with the ports, because I don't want to. I mean, if you look at the actual iron or housing, technically it's the same thing. The only difference, especially the rear one, will be that this rear will be for automatic. If I'm not mistaken, the Cosmo, which is the one that brought this engine, I'll post a picture whenever I edit the video, only came automatic. So you can see here the differences, and then that cut out part down there. The reason why that is cut out is because of the starter, but everything else looked the same. I removed the coolant passage there, which I'm gonna do on this one as well. I want to remove it to try to keep the below the intake manifold not keeping a lot of stuff, only the injectors and the sensor and the only thing that is needed. So but let's talk about the ports. I mean, this is not a factory port. This has been ported, but it's still not as big as the Cosmo. You can tell it's a lot wider. Going down, really, from side to side is the same. Let me see if I can find, hold on. All right, found a caliper here. So let's do this right. So you can see the differences. So from side to side, it's not huge different, or at least I don't think so. That's 30 millimeters, and this one almost, yeah. Middle part wasn't ported the same way as the top part, but it's almost the same. But the difference is if you check it going down, you will have almost a 10 millimeter difference of porting on between one and the other. So you here you have 51-ish millimeters, and then here you have 60, almost 10 millimeters. The same will be on the middle. This one is the REW or FD. This one is the Cosmo port. Let me show you. This is not the middle iron that was on the car. These I ordered from RX-7 Bro. I'll post his link below to his channel. You guys, he gave a lot of information as well. Pretty good information. That's how I learned how the twin turbo setup works on this car, so you can follow him as well. So he sold me this one, but this one is from factory, and then you can see here from the Cosmo has been ported a little bit. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but yeah, just want to focus on the actual ports. B38, it's gonna be probably 39. Yeah, there's a gasket here that is not letting me put it flush, but then here you have almost 10 millimeters of more air that will go in, and the same with the front iron. Comparing the outside of the irons, again, you won't see any difference. The only thing you see is these studs here. You don't have it on mine. And then the front iron looks pretty much similar if you compare them. Another difference between the RE and the REW is the position of the engine mounts. On the RE, the engine mounts are going to be attached on the middle plate, and on the REW are going to be on the rear. The engine that I just purchased, which is this one, even though it's a Cosmo, it had the rear plate modified, and they tapped the holes to accept the engine mounts, so I shouldn't have any issues there. The only issue that I have is these ports right here. A couple people on the live that I made on Facebook, they asked me why that is there, if that is why the rotaries get the famous brap brap sound. And yes, this I'm not sure if the actual builder wanted to leave the port like that. I think this is called cheesy port, or I don't know, I'm not sure. I normally used to see the actual bridge, which is after they drill these holes, they port and remove these bridges and then just make a hole completely from here, leaving a bridge here for the corner seal to pass. If you're wondering what corner seals are, they just look like Pac-Man, and they just hold the apex seal in place and prevent the compression to leave the chamber. So when the corner seal, the rotor rotates, the corner seal will pass through that bridge. You have to leave that bridge there because the corner seal has a spring to push the corner seal towards the iron to keep compression between the irons and the rotor. So you need that bridge for that corner seal to cross. And I'm not gonna give too much details on this engine. However, I don't know. I think this is why my channel is called DIY. This is why I do everything that I can on my own garage, just because shit that happens on the community. There's always people getting scammed. I don't know what happened with this community. It's just ridiculous. The only thing I will say is just be careful. So this engine was supposed to be a brand new engine, was supposed to have scallop rotors. If you don't know what scallops or rotors are, let me explain to you, because I got this question on the live as well that I made earlier. So rotors, you see that sharp corner on each face, okay? So scallops are this sharp corner is removed, and what it does is when since it doesn't have that material here, it will open the intake port earlier. So it's like kind of like on piston engines, when you install a camshaft, you make the intake port valve to open earlier, and you can make the duration of that lobe in the camshaft longer to keep the intake and the exhaust port open at the same time. We'll make like an overlap. So on rotary engines, you don't have a camshaft, so the way that you control the timing is porting to make it open a little bit later or sooner. And the way that you make it sooner, you can make it on the rotors doing the scallops. RX-7 rotors came with that. The only downside for that is that the rotor, you're making it with less compression. However, if you are assembly or you're making an engine that is going to be turbo, it really doesn't matter. You can compensate with a boost. So going back to what I was saying, this engine was supposed to be new. This engine was supposed to have a scallop rotors. Apparently clearance on the tips. The reason of why people clear, and I think this rotor has that just because of that line. I'm really not sure. The reason of why people remove material on each tip for each phase is on high RPMs. the eccentric shaft can bend a little bit, so the rotor will kind of wobble, and removing that material prevent the rotor to hit the faces on the iron since it's wobbling. But apparently this rotor, we're supposed to do a weight reduction, that we're supposed to be balanced. I'm not sure. This engine had a light flywheel. I will have to figure that out to make sure that all my assembly is gonna be balanced. I weighed these rotors. These rotors are like almost 9.9 pounds and 15 ounces. And I weighed the ones that I had on the RX-7 before, and they are 9 and 14 ounces. I'm not sure if the ones that were on the RX-7 were they shaved it a couple grams before. I got that car in UK, never got any information about the engine, regarding the engine, but it was running fine, so I never worried about it. I'm not sure what they did with the rotor. The rotors look new, however, I don't know if they got hit or they got dropped, but you can tell here that has a pretty nasty hit there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, while I was doing the live, I saw a couple of hits on, I think on the other rotor. It's like that. I don't think that it will matter, but I'm still gonna check it. The other stuff, the housings were supposed to be new. Housings were not new. One of them, the chrome was flaking on one of the corners. That's not a big deal. However, the other one had a hit or impact or something happened here. And if you can see the shadow, hold on. I don't know if you can see that shadow. So that probably was the apex seal was hitting that area and it was jumping. That's why you don't see that contact on that housing. The other finding, and the last finding I should say, is that when they install the bearing, they didn't align the notch properly, and it hit, or he forced that the wall of the rotor right there. This rotor probably will be fine, won't be an issue. It will probably do what it did on the previous on the engine that was on my car. I will really don't know, but I don't know. I'm just concerned about it. Be careful out there. When you buy an engine, you have to open it. You just have to open it. You can't trust anyone. I'm not blaming the guy who sold it to me. He didn't know either. He trusts what he got told. But every time that I go on Facebook pages, it's the same. People getting scammed from shops, people that are recognized on the community. The guy who assembled the engine didn't want that person to sell it because apparently he had secrets. He had a lot of money invested in the engine. I don't know, at some point I heard 16K, at another point I heard 18K. And to be honest, looking at what I just watched after opening everything, I doubt it. I thought that the studs were gonna be bigger. I thought that the rotors, again, I mean, I got told that they were scalloped. I don't know. I thought that it was, I was gonna find something completely different of what I just saw. So I probably will have to buy a new housing. And I don't know, after tonight, I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna go to bed, and we'll see if I ended up buying two housings. I don't know, at this point. Everything in the car is literally brand new. The only, after this project, to be honest with you, the only thing that I haven't replaced on this car will be the fuel pump. Everything else, suspension, fuel lines, harness, computer, injectors, I don't know, you name it. Everything else is brand new. So I apologize if a couple of you subscribe, trying to following the step-by-step or how to utilize RX-8 components, talking about the AC. I'm gonna try to get the parts that I need as soon as possible. I already talked with someone who's gonna port or finish the bridge on the plates. Now that I have Cosmo plates or 13B RE plates, I'm gonna see if I can find the intake manifold. Again, I can just port the FD lower intake manifold. I don't know, I just like how the 13B RE looks. People who ask a lot of money for them. So we'll see. Again, I don't know. I'm just gonna focus and just gonna be, I'm gonna start cleaning all the parts. I'm gonna take tomorrow the irons to the guy that is gonna port them. He's gonna inspect housings that I have. So these are the potential, well, these two are the potential ones that I probably can save. The other one on the front, or I mean, this is the rear one, but it really doesn't matter in FD. Is the one that I talk about it. It has marks, bumps, a lot of stuff. But these two, I might be able to save them. We'll see. And if not, I get new ones. So I hope that you gain a lot of info. If you have some doubts, I answer them. I really like this shit. If you have any questions, post them in the comments down below. I answer, or I try to answer all you guys' comments, emails that I receive from y'all. So hopefully I can get this project back to track. And yeah, I appreciate all your support. Subscribe, that helps a lot. And if you don't even subscribe and you feel that this video help you or answer your questions, hit a like. That helped me a lot. Thank you for watching. God bless. Until next one.